The diner buzzed with the chatter of lunchtime patrons. Plates clinked against formica tabletops, and the aroma of sizzling bacon mingled with the faint sweetness of syrup. It was an ordinary Wednesday at Sally's Diner in Austin, Texas, a place where the coffee was always hot and the staff knew most customers by name. That day, though, the unassuming eatery was about to become the epicenter of an extraordinary story. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. Clarissa Johnson, a 27-year-old waitress, worked her usual double shift, weaving gracefully between tables with a practiced smile. Her ebony curls were tucked neatly under a bright red bandana, and her brown eyes sparkled with a quiet determination. Clarissa was known for her warmth and efficiency. She could carry 4 plates in one hand and still refill a coffee cup without missing a beat. The diner's bell jingled as the door swung open. A man stepped in, flanked by 2 associates. He was dressed simply in a dark jacket and jeans, but there was an unmistakable aura about him. Conversation softened, and heads turned as whispers began to ripple through the diner. "That's Elon Musk," a teenager hissed to her friend, eyes wide. Indeed, it was Elon Musk, the billionaire entrepreneur whose innovations spanned electric cars, space exploration, and artificial intelligence. His visit to Sally's Diner was as unexpected as it was surreal. Clarissa felt her pulse quicken when she saw him seated in her section. She wasn't one to get starstruck, but this was Elon Musk, arguably one of the most influential figures of their time. As she approached his table, she could hear his unmistakable voice discussing something about reusable rockets with his companions. She waited patiently for a break in their conversation before speaking. "Good afternoon. Welcome to Sally's Diner," she said with her trademark smile. "Can I get you started with something to drink?" Musk glanced up, offering a polite nod. "Just coffee, thanks." Clarissa jotted it down and continued her routine, but her mind raced. The moment felt surreal, and an idea began to take shape. It wasn't every day a billionaire entrepreneur walked into a humble diner like this. After all, how many people could say they had met Elon Musk, let alone ask for his autograph? After serving the coffee, she hesitated, clutching her order pad. It was now or never. Summoning her courage, she leaned slightly toward him. "Mr. Musk," she began tentatively, "I hope I'm not being too forward, but would you mind signing an autograph for me? I really admire your work." There was a pause. Musk looked up, his expression unreadable. His associates exchanged glances. Their conversation momentarily halted. He studied Clarissa for a moment, then said with a slight frown, "I'm sorry, but I prefer not to do autographs while I'm dining. I hope you understand." His tone wasn't unkind, but the rejection stung. Clarissa flushed with embarrassment, murmured an apology, and hurried away. She berated herself for asking. "Why did I have to open my mouth?" she thought, trying to focus on her next table. The incident might have ended there, but it didn't. Later that afternoon, the diner manager called Clarissa into his office. His face was grim. "I heard about what happened with Musk," he said. Clarissa blinked, confused. "What do you mean?" "You asked him for an autograph," he said bluntly. "That's against policy." Clarissa was stunned. She had worked at Sally's Diner for 4 years, and this was the first time she'd heard of such a rule. "I didn't know," she said earnestly. "I didn't mean any harm." But the manager shook his head. "He's a high-profile guest. We can't afford to upset someone like that. I'm sorry, Clarissa, but I have to let you go." The words hit her like a punch to the gut. Fired? For one mistake? For something as harmless as an autograph request? She felt tears prick her eyes, but refused to let them fall. She handed over her apron and walked out of the diner, her head held high, though her heart was breaking. The story could have ended there, a small-town waitress quietly slipping into obscurity. But Clarissa's life was about to take a turn she could never have imagined. That evening, still reeling from the day's events, Clarissa posted about her experience on social media. She wasn't looking for sympathy, just a way to vent her frustration. She wrote candidly about her admiration for Musk, the embarrassment of being turned down, and the shock of losing her job over something she saw as an innocent gesture. To her surprise, the post went viral. By morning, her story had been shared thousands of times. People from all walks of life weighed in, some criticizing the diner's decision, others debating whether Musk had overreacted. The hashtag #JusticeForClarissa began trending, drawing even more attention to her plight. News outlets picked up the story. Within days, Clarissa found herself being interviewed by local and national media. She spoke honestly about her experience, never once expressing bitterness toward Musk, but questioning the fairness of her dismissal. Her poise and humility won over countless supporters. Meanwhile, the controversy caught Musk's attention. He took to Twitter to address the situation, stating that while he stood by his preference for privacy, he was disheartened to learn that Clarissa had been fired because of the interaction. He offered her an apology and encouraged Sally's Diner to reconsider their decision. But the diner stood firm, doubling down on their policy and insisting they had acted appropriately. The backlash was swift. Regular patrons boycotted the establishment, and online reviews tanked. The diner's reputation, once sterling, was in tatters. Amid the chaos, opportunities began to pour in for Clarissa. A prominent entrepreneur, inspired by her story, offered her a job in customer relations. A publishing house approached her with the idea of writing a memoir about her experience. She even received an invitation to appear on a popular talk show. But the biggest surprise came when Musk reached out to her directly. He invited her to visit one of his Tesla facilities, offering to personally give her a tour. Clarissa hesitated, unsure of his motives, but ultimately decided to accept. When they met again, Musk was candid. "I wanted to meet you in person to apologize for how things unfolded," he said. "You didn't deserve to lose your job over this." Clarissa appreciated his words, but she had one lingering question. "Why didn't you sign the autograph in the first place?" He sighed. "I get hundreds of requests every day, and I've learned to set boundaries. It's not personal. But seeing how this affected you, I realize I could have handled it differently." Their conversation was illuminating, and by the end of the tour, Clarissa felt a sense of closure. Musk even offered her a position at Tesla, impressed by her resilience and composure throughout the ordeal. Clarissa's life transformed in ways she never anticipated. She accepted the job offer, relocating to a new city and embarking on a career that allowed her to thrive. Her memoir, More Than a Waitress, Finding My Voice in the Face of Adversity, became a bestseller, inspiring countless readers. Through it all, she remained grounded, often reflecting on how a single moment had set her on this unexpected path. What began as a humiliating experience became a turning point, proving that even life's setbacks could lead to unimaginable opportunities. And as for Sally's Diner, it eventually closed its doors, a casualty of its own short-sightedness. Clarissa, however, emerged stronger, her story a testament to resilience, courage, and the power of staying true to oneself, even when the odds seem stacked against you. As the sun set over the Austin skyline, Clarissa Johnson sat on the balcony of her new apartment, sipping a cup of chamomile tea. The city hummed in the distance, a far cry from the clinking plates and small-town chatter of Sally's Diner. Life had taken a dramatic turn since that fateful encounter with Elon Musk, and as she reflected on the journey, she couldn't help but marvel at how drastically things had changed. The job at Tesla was both a challenge and a revelation. Clarissa, who had spent most of her life balancing trays and dodging sticky maple syrup spills, now found herself immersed in the cutting-edge world of electric vehicles and sustainable energy. At first, the transition felt overwhelming. The jargon, gigafactories, lithium-ion batteries, autonomous driving software, was foreign to her. She had to work harder than ever, staying up late to read manuals, attend training sessions, and understand the nuances of her role in customer relations. But Clarissa was no stranger to hard work. She threw herself into the position with the same determination that had carried her through years of double shifts and financial struggles. Her natural charm and ability to connect with people quickly became apparent to her colleagues. She approached each interaction with genuine curiosity, eager to learn and to contribute. It wasn't long before she earned the respect of her peers and supervisors alike. One of the major projects she took on involved coordinating Tesla's efforts to improve the customer experience at its service centers. Clarissa drew on her years in the hospitality industry, bringing a fresh perspective to the table. She suggested small but impactful changes, such as implementing personalized follow-ups after service visits and creating a more welcoming atmosphere in waiting areas. Her ideas were simple yet effective, and they resonated with Tesla's mission of blending innovation with human-centered design. Word of her contributions reached higher ups, and she was invited to present her ideas to a panel of executives, including Musk himself. The meeting was nerve-wracking. Clarissa couldn't ignore the memory of their first encounter, but she was determined to prove herself. Standing in front of the panel, she spoke with confidence and passion, outlining her vision for a more customer-centric Tesla. Musk listened intently, occasionally nodding or scribbling notes. When she finished, he smiled. "You've got a knack for understanding people," he said. "We need more of that in tech." That moment marked a turning point in Clarissa's career. She was promoted to a leadership role, overseeing customer relations across multiple regions. The promotion came with a significant pay raise and the opportunity to travel, something she had always dreamed of but never thought possible. She visited Tesla facilities around the country, meeting employees, learning about their challenges, and finding ways to improve their experiences. Each trip felt like a new adventure, a testament to how far she had come from the confines of the diner. Outside of work, Clarissa's life blossomed in other ways. Her memoir, More Than a Waitress, continued to gain traction, attracting attention from readers and media outlets alike. The book struck a chord with people who had faced adversity, reminding them that even the most unexpected moments could lead to profound change. Clarissa was invited to speak at conferences, book signings, and events, sharing her story with audiences that ranged from college students to corporate executives. One particularly memorable event was a panel discussion on resilience, hosted at a prestigious university. Clarissa found herself sharing the stage with accomplished individuals, an Olympic athlete, a renowned author, and a decorated military veteran. Despite their vastly different backgrounds, they all spoke about the importance of perseverance and finding purpose in the face of challenges. When it was her turn to speak, Clarissa recounted her journey with authenticity and humor, drawing laughter and tears from the audience. After the panel, a young woman approached her, clutching a copy of the memoir. She introduced herself as Jasmine, a college student studying engineering. Jasmine explained that she had grown up in a low-income household and often felt out of place in her demanding program. Reading Clarissa's story had inspired her to keep pushing forward, despite the obstacles. "You made me believe that it's okay to start small," Jasmine said, her voice trembling. "Thank you for sharing your story." Clarissa hugged her, overwhelmed by the realization that her words had made a difference in someone's life. Moments like these reminded her that her journey was about more than personal success. It was about giving others the courage to chase their dreams. Meanwhile, the fallout from the diner controversy continued to ripple through the community. Sally's Diner, once a beloved institution, struggled to recover from the negative publicity. Former regulars found new places to eat, and the diner's reputation became a cautionary tale about the dangers of prioritizing short-term appearances over genuine relationships. When the diner eventually closed its doors, Clarissa felt a pang of sadness but also a sense of closure. The chapter was over, and she had emerged stronger for it. Clarissa's rise didn't go unnoticed by the broader public. Her story became a cultural touchstone, sparking debates about class, opportunity, and the unexpected intersections of ordinary lives with extraordinary ones. Filmmakers approached her with proposals to adapt her memoir into a movie, and after careful consideration, she signed a deal with a production company known for its heartfelt and empowering narratives. The film, titled A Twist of Fate, was a box office success, with a talented actress capturing Clarissa's warmth and resilience on screen. Watching her life unfold in cinematic form was surreal, but it also brought her story to a wider audience. The film's release rekindled interest in her book, and she found herself on the bestseller lists once again. Amid her professional and creative successes, Clarissa remained deeply connected to her roots. She used her newfound platform to advocate for workers' rights, particularly in the service industry. Drawing from her own experiences, she spoke about the importance of fair wages, respectful treatment, and opportunities for advancement. Her advocacy work led to collaborations with nonprofit organizations, and she became a vocal supporter of initiatives aimed at empowering low-income workers. Clarissa also established a scholarship fund for aspiring students in hospitality and customer service fields. Named the Johnson Scholarship for Excellence in Service, it provided financial assistance to individuals who demonstrated exceptional dedication and potential. The fund was her way of giving back, ensuring that others could pursue their dreams without being held back by financial constraints. Despite her busy schedule, Clarissa found time for the simple joys in life. She rekindled her love for painting, an old hobby she had abandoned during her hectic years at the diner. Her apartment became a gallery of vibrant canvases, each piece a reflection of her journey. She also took up hiking, exploring the natural beauty of the regions she visited for work. These quiet moments of creativity and connection to nature helped her stay grounded. Her personal life also took an unexpected turn when she met Marcus, an environmental scientist at a sustainability conference. They bonded over their shared passion for making a positive impact and quickly discovered a deep connection. Marcus admired Clarissa's resilience and authenticity, while she was drawn to his intellect and kind-heartedness. Their relationship blossomed, bringing joy and stability to her whirlwind life. As the years passed, Clarissa's story continued to inspire others. She was invited to contribute to a documentary series about ordinary people whose lives had intersected with famous figures in unexpected ways. In her episode, she reflected on the lessons she had learned, emphasizing the importance of resilience, humility, and the courage to seize opportunities, even when they came disguised as setbacks. One of the most poignant moments of the documentary came when Clarissa revisited the now abandoned site of Sally's Diner. Walking through the overgrown lot, she felt a wave of nostalgia, but also a deep sense of gratitude. The diner had been the backdrop for some of her most challenging moments, but it had also been the catalyst for her transformation. As she stood there, she whispered a quiet thank you to the past before turning to face the future. Clarissa Johnson's journey from waitress to influential leader was more than a tale of personal triumph. It was a testament to the power of embracing change and finding strength in unexpected places. Her story resonated because it reminded people of a simple truth. Life's twists and turns, however daunting, often lead to destinations more beautiful than we can imagine. And as Clarissa looked out from her balcony at the city she now called home, she knew her story was far from over. The best was yet to come. As Clarissa Johnson continued to build a life that reflected her newfound opportunities and growth, her story became a symbol of perseverance for people across the world. Yet, despite her success, she always made time to reflect on her journey, which grounded her as she ventured into uncharted territories. Clarissa's transition into a leadership role at Tesla wasn't the end point of her career. Instead, it opened doors to explore broader horizons in the world of business, technology, and public service. Her ability to empathize with customers and employees alike garnered attention beyond Tesla. Soon, other companies and organizations began inviting her to consult on improving workplace environments and customer engagement strategies. One such invitation came from an unexpected sector: healthcare. A major hospital chain approached her to help transform their patient experience by applying principles of hospitality and customer care. Clarissa, initially hesitant due to her lack of formal experience in the medical field, decided to take on the challenge. The project involved working closely with nurses, doctors, and administrative staff to understand the pain points patients often face during their visits: long wait times, lack of communication, and an impersonal atmosphere. Drawing on her background, Clarissa suggested small but impactful changes, such as creating welcoming spaces, improving communication at every stage of a patient's journey, and offering personalized follow-ups for critical care cases. The results were transformative. Patient satisfaction scores rose, and the hospital chain credited her as the driving force behind their success. Clarissa's reputation as a problem solver grew, and soon she was splitting her time between her role at Tesla and consulting for organizations across various industries. Her ability to bridge the gap between corporate strategy and human-centered design became her trademark. Yet through it all, she remained deeply connected to her origins, often mentioning her years at Sally's Diner as the foundation for her understanding of people and service. Her memoir, More Than a Waitress, continued to find new audiences, especially as it was translated into multiple languages. Clarissa took the opportunity to travel abroad for book tours, visiting places she had only dreamed of as a child. In Paris, she marveled at the city's art and history, drawing inspiration for her paintings. In Tokyo, she was captivated by the efficiency and innovation of Japanese technology, sparking ideas she later brought back to her work. Every trip became a chance to learn and grow, both personally and professionally. During her travels, Clarissa discovered a passion for public speaking. She had always been an engaging storyteller, and standing in front of a crowd felt natural to her. Over time, she transitioned from sharing her personal journey to delivering keynote addresses on broader topics: resilience, the importance of adaptability, and finding opportunities in life's challenges. Her speeches, infused with humor and authenticity, resonated with audiences ranging from corporate executives to high school students. One of her most impactful speeches took place at a conference for underserved youth. Standing before a room of teenagers who had grown up in circumstances similar to her own, Clarissa shared the lessons she had learned along the way. She emphasized the importance of believing in oneself, even when the world seemed indifferent. No matter where you start, she told them, your story is still yours to write. It doesn't matter if you're waiting tables, sweeping floors, or stacking shelves. What matters is the heart you put into what you do and the courage to dream beyond your current reality. The response was overwhelming. Many students approached her afterward, sharing their aspirations and seeking advice. Clarissa took the time to listen to each one, offering encouragement and practical tips. She saw in them the same hunger for opportunity that had driven her, and she made it a personal mission to support them in any way she could. Her advocacy work began expanding beyond scholarships. Clarissa partnered with grassroots organizations to create mentorship programs, connecting professionals with young people from disadvantaged backgrounds. The initiative, called Pathways Forward, provided resources such as career counseling, internships, and networking opportunities. By focusing on mentorship, Clarissa hoped to bridge the gap between ambition and access, ensuring that no one was held back by circumstances beyond their control. As her influence grew, so did the demands on her time. Clarissa found herself juggling multiple roles: corporate leader, consultant, author, speaker, and mentor. It was an exhilarating yet exhausting pace, and she occasionally worried about losing touch with the things that mattered most to her. To stay balanced, she leaned on a close circle of friends and family who kept her grounded. Her relationship with Marcus continued to flourish, providing her with a source of stability and support. Marcus, ever the pragmatist, often reminded her to carve out time for herself amid her busy schedule. Together, they made a point of prioritizing their relationship, whether through quiet nights at home or adventurous weekends exploring new hiking trails. Their bond deepened, and eventually Marcus proposed during a trip to the Grand Canyon. The two married in an intimate ceremony, surrounded by loved ones, with Clarissa's beloved red bandana incorporated into her bouquet, a nod to her roots and how far she had come. As the years went on, Clarissa's impact became more profound. She began writing a second book, Turning the Tables: Lessons from the Front Line of Service and Leadership. Unlike her memoir, this book focused on practical advice for navigating life's challenges and achieving success while staying true to one's values. It combined personal anecdotes with actionable strategies, making it a valuable resource for anyone striving to make a difference in their field. The book's release was met with critical acclaim, further solidifying Clarissa's status as a thought leader. She embarked on another book tour, this time accompanied by Marcus, who had become her greatest cheerleader. During one stop in New York, Clarissa appeared on a morning talk show, where the host asked her what kept her motivated after achieving so much. Clarissa smiled, pausing to collect her thoughts. "I think it's the understanding that success isn't just about reaching the top. It's about lifting others as you climb. It's about making a difference, no matter how small, in the lives of the people you encounter. That's what drives me." Her words resonated deeply, sparking a renewed wave of interest in her work. She was invited to collaborate on projects with global organizations, including the United Nations, where she contributed to initiatives aimed at promoting gender equality and economic empowerment for women in underserved communities. Her insights, grounded in lived experience, brought a fresh perspective to these efforts, and she became a sought-after voice in the global conversation on social equity. Through her work with the UN, Clarissa traveled to countries facing significant challenges, from rural villages in Africa to urban centers in Southeast Asia. She listened to the stories of women struggling to support their families, workers striving to improve their conditions, and communities finding innovative ways to overcome adversity. Each encounter reinforced her belief in the resilience of the human spirit and the importance of fostering opportunities for growth. In one memorable visit to a small village in Kenya, Clarissa met a group of women who had formed a cooperative to produce handmade goods. Despite limited resources, they had built a thriving business that supported their families and uplifted their community. Inspired by their determination, Clarissa partnered with an e-commerce platform to help the cooperative expand its reach, providing them with the tools and training needed to sell their products globally. The initiative became a model for similar programs, demonstrating the power of collaboration and empowerment. As Clarissa's life unfolded, she never lost sight of the importance of gratitude. Every year she returned to Austin to visit her family and reconnect with the community that had shaped her. She often spent time volunteering at local shelters and community centers, quietly giving back to the city that had been her starting point. Her humility and authenticity endeared her to everyone she met, from childhood friends to strangers inspired by her journey. One day, while visiting a community center, she noticed a group of teenagers practicing spoken word poetry. Intrigued, she sat in on their session, captivated by their raw talent and emotional depth. Moved by their stories, she decided to sponsor a program that combined creative arts with mentorship, giving young people a platform to express themselves while building skills for the future. The program, called Voices Rising, became a runaway success, attracting participants from all over the city. Clarissa often attended their performances, marveling at the resilience and creativity of the next generation. It reminded her that every voice mattered, no matter how small or overlooked it might seem. As Clarissa approached her 40th birthday, she found herself reflecting on the incredible journey she had traveled. From a waitress at a small-town diner to a global advocate for change, her life had taken her places she could never have imagined. Yet, for all the accolades and achievements, she remained steadfast in her belief that her greatest legacy was the impact she had on others. Sitting on her balcony one evening, watching the city lights twinkle, Clarissa smiled to herself. Her journey was far from over, and she couldn't wait to see what the next chapter would bring. Life, after all, had taught her one invaluable lesson. When you approach the world with an open heart and an unwavering spirit, the possibilities are limitless. As Clarissa Johnson entered yet another phase of her life, she began contemplating the broader significance of her journey. Her experiences had not only transformed her life, but had also illuminated the pathways through which others could find empowerment and purpose. She became increasingly drawn to the idea of systemic change, addressing the underlying structures that often kept people trapped in cycles of hardship. One of her most ambitious endeavors emerged from this desire. Clarissa decided to establish her own nonprofit organization, named Empower Forward, focused on creating opportunities for underserved communities. The nonprofit aimed to provide mentorship, vocational training, and entrepreneurship resources to individuals who, like Clarissa herself once, were trying to find their footing in the world. Empower Forward quickly became a beacon of hope for countless individuals. It offered workshops that taught practical skills, from financial literacy and resume building to business planning and networking. Clarissa was particularly proud of the Entrepreneurial Incubation Program, which provided aspiring business owners with seed funding, mentorship, and a supportive community to help bring their visions to life. The program's first success story was a single mother who launched a successful catering business after years of struggling to make ends meet. Watching her flourish became one of Clarissa's proudest moments. To sustain the nonprofit's efforts, Clarissa leveraged her extensive network, reaching out to corporate leaders, philanthropists, and community organizers for support. Her ability to articulate her mission with clarity and passion attracted substantial backing, and within a few years, Empower Forward had expanded to multiple cities, touching thousands of lives. Clarissa often visited the programs personally, listening to participants' stories and drawing inspiration from their resilience and determination. Meanwhile, Clarissa continued to evolve as an individual. She pursued an executive education program at a prestigious university not to advance her career, but to deepen her understanding of leadership, strategy, and social innovation. The program introduced her to like-minded individuals who shared her vision of a better, more equitable world. The friendships she forged there became invaluable sources of collaboration and support. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on the waitress asking Elon Musk for an autograph? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching and see you next time.